Content covering something like a nice scenic hike seems like it'd be pretty easy, but if you want it to turn out good and stand out amongst all the others out there, then it does take some pretty careful planning before you even get started. My first hike that I tried recording was pretty much a disaster. I packed as much camera gear as I could fit in my backpack and carried one little 20-ounce bottle of water. Within the first 20 minutes I was walking sideways down a steep rocky incline and I felt the weight of my pack pulling me off balance, causing me to fall backwards about 10 feet down onto a bunch of large rocks. Luckily the pack and my leg broke my fall for the most part, and I was able to continue with just a severely bruised leg and a sprained wrist. I probably should have taken this as a sign to turn around and rethink this, but I hobbled on, running into one obstacle after another. After hearing this, it's probably pretty obvious that the first lesson to filming a hiking video is to pack as light as possible. I'm going to break this into a short series, but today I want to cover the most important parts of creating a cinematic hiking video, and that's packing and planning. Planning a hike is a lot more than just picking a place on the map and going, especially now that you need to worry about filming it. For your first few hikes that you plan on filming, I'd suggest making them short and not too complex. It should also be a place that you've hiked before so you can plan out some shots to highlight on your trip. Of course, your hike is going to have to be long enough and pretty interesting in order to create a good video. Another thing to take into consideration when you're planning your hiking video is how busy your route is going to be. If it's a popular hiking area, then try to pick a time when it's not too busy, like on a weekday if that's possible. I guess it's obvious that packing for a hike is a lot different than packing to film a hike. As I mentioned before, the first time I tried this, I packed way too much gear, causing a lot of unnecessary weight in my pack. I think the first things we should probably pack are the items that we'd normally bring on a hike, and of course that's going to depend on the location and the length of the hike. If my hike isn't going to be more than, say, 3 miles round trip, then I'll just make sure I bring plenty of water. I think the rule of thumb is to bring 1 liter of water for every 2 hours of hiking. Along with water and a few snacks, I also have a little multi-purpose knife and a travel-sized first aid kit. Another really important item to bring is a fully charged cell phone. Seems like a no-brainer, but most of the horror hiking stories out there involve someone who wants to disconnect and be at one with nature. But when you're using your phone as a tool rather than a camera or a social media outlet, then it can be a real lifesaver, literally. Once I have my hiking necessities packed, I'll start filling up space with my camera gear. I need to remember to focus on lightweight items that don't take up a lot of room. Fortunately, I've been reviewing the new DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I think this little guy is going to be the ideal camera system for hiking and camping content. It's small and discreet and shoots beautiful 4K video with too many features to mention. I'll be using this camera for most of my shooting on the hike, and the gimbal on the Pocket 3 is going to give me some nice smooth handheld footage. The next camera I'm going to bring is an action camera. I have the DJI Action 4 today, but you can bring any action camera like a GoPro. The reason I'm using the DJI Action 4 is because it shares the same color profiles as the Pocket 3. So when I'm putting my finished video together, it's going to be a lot easier to color match my clips. And the Action 4 is just a great action camera. DJI is doing an excellent job keeping up with GoPro and all the other competitors in the action camera market. The next thing I always bring is my drone, and this may seem excessive, but not only can you get a lot of great shots of you and the surrounding landscape, but it's also a helpful tool when you're hiking if you get lost or simply want to check out the trail ahead of you. Any of the new DJI mini drones don't take up a lot of space or add much weight to your pack and still have great quality. I'm bringing the DJI Air 2S because it's still small, lightweight, and also shoots in the D-Log-M color profile as my other two cameras I'm bringing. As far as camera mounts and accessories go, I like to bring an extendable selfie stick, a monopod with adjustable feet like this one, and a small tripod with flexible legs so I can set up the Pocket 3 or action camera pretty much anywhere. I also like to bring this backpack mount so I can attach the Action 4 and get some great POV footage from the whole hike. That's about it except for a couple battery packs and some different accessories for the Pocket 3 and the action camera. This whole pack only weighs 15 pounds without my water bottles, so I shouldn't have any problems with it pulling me off balance on my hikes because of the weight. I hope this helped provide a good starting point for anyone planning on starting to film their own hikes. Look for part 2 of this series coming out real soon, where I'm going to be covering the good stuff featuring camera settings, different camera shots, and how to give your hiking video that cinematic feel.